Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to the grocery store because I'm out of muffins. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Okay, so as most of you know, I took the day off from video making yesterday and from my other job and from life in general, and I had to attend a funeral. Well, as per usual, I find funny things to laugh at, okay? It's just who I am. I am not one of those people that can just sit and behave even through a funeral. Now, I didn't laugh out. Well, I did kind of snort one time, but I was quiet, okay? I behaved. But most of this happened before and after the service, okay? So I wasn't disrespectful in the service, well, except for that snort, but that's an entirely different topic, okay? Okay, so my brother comes, picks me up, we pick up Dad, we head up there. We get there, and of course, it's a packed house. Everybody's there because everybody loved Mimi. Well, we go ahead and go into the chapel after we say our hellos, and we grab a seat. Well, they have these little fabric things that hang over the pews that say reserved. I don't know what to call those things, so I'm just going to call them thingies, okay? Reserved thingies. You know how shallow a pew area is in a church? Every time somebody scooted between us and the pew in front of us, that reserved thing went with them, which turned out to be quite funny after it was all over with. So my dad and brother sit down. Well, then I go sit with them, and then my brother gets up and leaves. He kind of slides that thing with him because it had come in with him. So he slides it back down this way, not intending to, it's just kind of stuck to his butt. And then somebody else comes in and goes down and sits on the other end. Well, she brings it down with her. So then my dad thinks it's a good idea to take it and sling it like it's gonna stay attached to the pew. It didn't. By this point, I have two ladies sitting beside me, and it flew and landed in one of their laps, which got me tickled, got her tickled. We're all laughing at this point. She puts it back on there. Then the man sat in front of us, his jacket grabbed it and it dove down behind him, but it was kind of sticking up and had these little fringy things. So she tells him to move forward and she pulls it back out. It was just funny, you know, you just have to find these funny moments. Besides all that, my brother is acting like we're 10 years old again, and he keeps doing this through the entire thing. He keeps elbowing me. Well, I'm elbowing back, but we're trying to do it low-key, right? We're trying not to make it look like we're two 10-year-olds elbowing each other in church, but that's what it felt like. So every time he would elbow me, I would elbow him back, and I would get a little harder the next time, you know? Because that's who I am. I got a little aggressive with it. Then the preaching started, and I'm not even going to talk about that. But let's just say his fashion of preaching was unlike anything I had ever heard before, okay? It was out there. It was out there, okay? Then we finally get through, and we head back to Marietta, which is where the graveside service was going to be. We get here, and it's pouring down rain, as it has done all day long. So I take my umbrella. So I go down there. My dad sits in this chair, this cane thing that he took with him, like a tripod cane. Why he wouldn't sit in one of the chairs that was there, that was vacant, I don't know, but he wanted to sit on that. And he's sitting to where the overhang of the tent is dripping down his back. Me trying to be the helpful daughter, I get up under him with my under him. I did not get under him. I get up under the tent with my umbrella to try to keep the tent from dropping down his back. Unknowingly pouring water in his lap the entire service, which thankfully didn't last long. But after it was over with, he turned around and he said, "All the water off your umbrella has been pouring in my lap." I was like, "I'm sorry. I was trying to be helpful. I was trying so hard to be helpful." But yeah, instead of me trying to keep it from dripping off his back, I just dumped it all in his lap. Because every time I moved, it would shake more rain off on him. So anyway, the service is over and we're walking back up to the car. And I turn around to see this man that we all know. We've known him forever. He was a police officer with my dad, and my brothers grew up with his sons. Well, his son's trying to help him. He's 90. He's on a walker. His son has an umbrella. He has an umbrella. He's trying to hang on to his umbrella and his walker. And his son turns to say something, and when he turned, their umbrellas they just collided, and it was just like a rain shower went all over Joe. And he looked down and he looked up at me and he was like, "Kids." It was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And I was so happy that I could find laughter through all of that, which usually isn't a problem for me. But anyway, I'm at Publix because I need some muffins. I need my muffin mix and some other things, but mostly my muffin mix because I don't have anything to eat for breakfast tomorrow. So that's it for part 1. Toodles. I'll be back later. The last time I got tickled at an inappropriate time. Okay, well, it's probably not the last time I got tickled at an inappropriate time, but it was the last time that it happened at a funeral home, I think. I was standing in line with Trina, and our friend Becky had lost her mother. So we all go to the funeral home, right? That's what you do. Pay your respects. Well, we're standing there, and, you know, as you do, you're looking at all the flowers, and you're reading the names on them to see who sent what, just because you have nothing else better to do besides stand there and read all the little cards on the flowers, right? Well, I saw something that made me giggle. And Trina, it doesn't take much for her to get tickled either. She says, "What are you laughing about?" Because we're all about laughing at the same thing, right? And then I said, "Oh, never mind." She was like, "What are you laughing about?" I said, "Well, okay, let me back up and tell you this. We have a friend named Peggy. Peggy lost, I'm not laughing at this, lost her leg from below the knee, about that far below the knee down, due to some sort of cancer. Peggy has the absolute best attitude about losing her leg, and even jokes about how she's dressed up as a pirate for Halloween and has the peg leg. Yeah, peg leg, Peggy with the peg leg. Without, you know, she doesn't have to put on a fake wooden something over her leg. She's already got a peg leg. Now, this is things that Peggy says about herself. She's just got a great attitude about this. Well, as I'm looking at these flowers, I thought they were signed peg leg. I did. And I started giggling. And I was about to say, Peggy sent flowers and she signed her name Peg Leg. And then I noticed it didn't say Peg Leg at all. It said something like Peggy Lee or something. And I was like, oh, that doesn't say Peg Leg. And then we lost it. Absolutely lost it. And we were 2 away from the casket. You know how you have to walk up to the casket? I mean, you don't have to, but you walk up to the casket to, you know, hug your friend who has lost their loved one. Yeah, we were 2 away, and here we are about to lose our minds from laughter about Peggy and the Peg Leg. And it wasn't Peg Leg at all. Anyway, that's the last time I believe I lost it at a funeral home. But anyway, okay, so this is my office, and I'm wanting to maybe turn that to where I face the windows, but I don't want to come over here because I like to leave that door open to let in extra light. It is deadbolted. I mean, when it's nice out, when it's cold out, I can't leave it open because it lets a little too much cold air in. I'm wondering how it'll look over there if I turn it around. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I've been wanting to do in here. So I got the old vacuum out and I did vacuum the rug. As you can see, it's nice and clean. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. So that's what I'm doing, is in here trying to see if I want to turn that around. And if I turn it around, do I have to turn this around? Should I move it over there? Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm doing right now. Should I have worked today to make up for yesterday? Probably, but I gotta use the days anyway, right? Am I right? And besides, I got my grocery shopping done, so at least that's out of the way. Hello. How is everyone? Good afternoon. It is afternoon. It is windy, and the chimes do be a-chiming, yes. I just want to ask, does everyone deal with pine pollen? I don't know if you can see, but, oh, well, you can see where my foot was. And if I clean this today, it's going to be this way tomorrow. I can't stand it. But I wanted to show y'all this. Please stand by. My friend Lisa got this for me. So there's Penny, Gracie, and my Charlie bear. Isn't that cute? And it just sits out here and spins. And I can see it from my office window. Okay, so I turned it around. And I've got it between those windows. And I may move that table. I'm not sure. But I was saying the reason I didn't want it close to the door is because, you know, if somebody comes up to knock on the door, I want to be able to hide. You know how it is, okay? That's the end of part 2. I'll talk to y'all in a bit on part 3, if I can think of anything else to talk about. Goodbye. Hello. Okay, so I would just like to say that I had no idea that we had lost power last night. No idea. You know why I didn't have any idea? Because I was sleeping like you do in the middle of the night. Yeah, well, I couldn't go to sleep last night, and it was after midnight. After midnight, we gonna let it all hang out. It was after midnight when I went to sleep. Yeah. And apparently, I don't know what time the power went out. Maybe, I don't know what time. 4:30-ish. And I wake up to Gracie screaming up and down the hallways, calling out to her people that she's hungry. And I was like, why are you starting at 6 o'clock? You typically don't start this early, you know? You typically wait till 6:30. Well, then I woke up and I looked at my phone, and that's when I saw the notice that your power's out. Thank you, Georgia Power. Actually, it's not Georgia Power, it's Coffee MC. But thank you for texting me to tell me that my power's out. Because otherwise I would have not known. I mean, it didn't wake me up, but you know what I'm saying? And then I realized what had happened was because the power went out, Gracie's heated bed went off. So Gracie got cold. Therefore, she woke up, and when she woke up, of course, she was hungry because she's a baby, and they always wake up hungry. Am I right? So, yeah, 6 o'clock. And I know that 12 to 6 is a lot more sleep than anybody else gets ever, right? I shouldn't even complain about it because most of y'all have probably had 2 hours of sleep. But when you're used to getting a little more than that, then it seems like it's a little not enough. A little not enough, okay? Well, anyway, then I got a text from Coffee MC. Your power's back on. Thank you, Coffee MC. It came on at 6 o'clock when Gracie started running up and down the halls. It was already back on when Gracie was running up and down the halls at 6. But you see, her bed didn't come back on, so she was cold. But thank you for texting me again that your power's back on after it was already back on. I'll be back. Do you see all that purple? Good afternoon. Do you see all that purple? It's so pretty to me, and it smells amazing. There's only one problem. It is very invasive. It's called Wisteria. And like I said, it smells amazing. Penny, stop pulling. Isn't it pretty? I wish y'all could smell it. It smells so good. But it's definitely an invasive species that is basically a weed. The most beautiful weed ever. I should add that Wisteria is invasive in the southeast from Florida to New York and as far west as Texas in the south. But in other regions of the U.S. and the world, I suppose, it is not invasive. I had to add that because somebody will be telling me it's not invasive. It is in the south, east, south and east. Now then, here we are at the end of the day. It's like 5:39 to be exact. And I'm going to try to finish off this video. Video number 2, whatever, number 2. And yeah, but I just wanted to tell you, I was sitting here earlier and I was on the phone with my friend Kim, and I heard something, like, I couldn't tell what it was. And the boys across the street were out playing basketball. So I thought it was them. And I was like, what is that noise? Is that them playing basketball? And I thought, well, it sounds like music. That's odd. So I stand up and I look outside and they're playing basketball, but then it really sounded like music. And I was like, well, I don't think they're singing while they're playing basketball. Right? So I start walking and Kim's going, what is that noise? I hear it too. And I was like, I don't know, but it sounds like it's in my house. So I keep walking and I go into my office and my Google Nest, it's kind of like that Alexa chick, was in there playing music. I had not been in there for at least an hour, and I had not said Google or Nest, so I don't know why she started playing music. So perhaps my ghost is back. The ghost of Christmas past. I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one, because that's enough. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, which I'm sure will be tomorrow, good Lord willing, because I do be trying to post every day. Yeah, except for yesterday. So, toodles, my noodles, and stay silly, my friends. Smile. Smile! Okay, bye.